So, today we're going to dive into the story of a tourism operator in Tasmania that's making some serious waves. And I'm not just talking about the ocean. This isn't just a story about beautiful scenery, it's about a business model that might just change how we think about travel altogether. And it really all starts here with this iconic yellow boat. It's the heart and soul of Pennicott Wilderness Journeys, a symbol of adventure you see all over Tasmania. But believe me, this is about so much more than just a boat tour. And that right there is the big question, isn't it? We've all been on tours, but this one, it's different. It's built on this really bold idea. What if a business could do more than just not harm nature? What if it could actively help heal it? To really get it, you have to look at their why. This was never just about making money. Right from the very beginning, this company was built on a really powerful and, deeply held mission. Just look at how clear and direct this is. It's not some vague promise. It says flat out that making a profit isn't the end goal. Nope. Profit is the fuel for what really matters, putting that money right back into the community and the environment. And, this isn't just some new PR stunt for them. You can see it right here on this timeline. Their commitment has been there from day one. They started as a tiny family business back in '99, and those core values have grown right along with them, from winning massive national awards to the founders' absolutely wild journey around Australia in a tiny boat for conservation. That dedication, it's been a constant. Okay, so a great mission statement is one thing, right? But how do they actually pull it off? Let's get into the how, the real tangible actions that prove this is way more than just words on a website. Well, for starters, their entire operation is just built on this foundation of sustainability. We're talking 100% carbon offset, the highest possible ecotourism certification, and they're always exceeding global best practices. And check out that last point, 80% of their goods come from local suppliers. That's a huge direct investment that makes the whole community stronger. Let's look at what these commitments mean in the real world, starting with 100%. That's right, every single tour they run is carbon offset. It's pretty simple, really. For every bit of carbon their boats put out, they fund projects that pull the same amount back out of the atmosphere, like planting massive numbers of trees that actually rebuild entire habitats for wildlife. Then you've got this number, which is just staggering. Over 250,000. That's how many breeding seabirds are saved every single year. How? They fund critical projects to get rid of invasive predators on nesting islands. And the results for the local wildlife are, well, almost immediate and absolutely transformative. And this right here, this just perfectly shows you how hands-on they are. Their teams get out there in some of Tasmania's most remote spots, sponsoring and joining coastal cleanups. They've collected almost 900,000 pieces of marine junk. They are so into it, they even collect trash they see while they're running their regular tours. And it all comes full circle with the community impact. By sticking to their guns and using local suppliers, they pump over $3 million directly into the regional economy every single year. This creates this amazing link where a healthy environment actually leads to a thriving local community. It's a truly sustainable model. So they've basically created this simple but really powerful blueprint for their work. First, you identify the threat. Then, you fund the action and bring in the experts. Next, you monitor everything to make sure it's working. And finally, you get to witness the incredible return of wildlife. It's a model that works, and it's being used to restore ecosystems all over the region. So you've got the mission, you've got the action. What's the result? Does this conservation first thing actually work as a business? Well, the evidence is pretty overwhelming. How about we start with just one number, 50. More than 50, actually. That's how many major national and state tourism awards they've won. It's just an incredible testament to decades of being excellent at what they do. And as you can see, they're winning across the board. This is a huge deal because, let's be honest, in the tourism industry, you hear eco-friendly thrown around all the time, right? A lot of it is just greenwashing. But these awards prove that their commitment is real and that they're leading the entire industry. This shows you don't have to choose between being a great business and being a great steward of the environment. You can absolutely be both. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What does all of this mean for the bigger picture? Well, Pennicott is really showing us what a new philosophy looks like. It's called regenerative tourism. Regenerative tourism, it's a step beyond just being sustainable. It's not about minimizing your impact anymore. It's about actively making a positive one. The goal is to leave a place and the people who live there better than you found them. And Pennicott Wilderness Journeys, they are a living, breathing example of this idea in action. But here's the thing.
This model isn't a magic bullet. And there's a real irony here, because their deep connection to nature is both their biggest strength and their biggest weakness. That authentic brand gets them incredible support from the community. But at the same time, climate change, with its crazy weather and rising seas, is a direct existential threat to the very oceans their business needs to survive.
And this really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? As we look to the future, in a world where our environment is under more and more pressure, is this conservation-first model more than just a nice ethical choice? Could it actually be the only truly resilient way forward for any business that relies on a healthy planet? That's definitely something to think about.